we got the full crew back tonight. We got Gov, Donnie, and myself, and we waited to announce it. But go ahead, Donnie, if you want to. Gov did win the spread picks. We can just start with that off the top.
Yeah.
We're not going to pick the playoffs.
Yeah, we're not going to pick the playoffs. There's just not enough games. Sometimes we'll do one or two, but it's not a big deal. But Gov won it barely. The Jets showed up to play football. Aaron Rodgers had a great day, and they just squeaked by. It was a good first half. I'm sure I was watching that. I was like, man, I might actually pull through on this.
Do you have it pulled up, Donnie?
No, I don't have it pulled up.
Okay.
But
so
I finished one game behind.
Okay. So next show, what we'll do is give up the full record, because I don't remember them off the top of my head either, but I was actually very impressed. Given like I say, we're not professionals, we're amateurs, and we're doing it so late in the week. Like recreationally, I'm very proud of my record. Truly. So I think the playoff slate's very interesting. I mean, a lot of people compared it to the Thanksgiving slate, but I don't think so. Or they compared it to the Christmas slate because it's a special slate. There's the Amazon stuff. It has a lot of the traditional markers of importance. You have the streaming element, and you have Monday Night Football being involved. But guys, this is a 6-gamer, and I think that matters a lot. It's not a 3-gamer, because the strategy in a 3-game versus a 6-game is a lot different. But it's also not a main slate. The main slate's usually 10, games at least. This is only 6. So I really this is my favorite time of the year. Wildcard weekend, I think, is my most profitable DFS time throughout my history of playing DFS. So I'm very excited. What I thought would be interesting, though, since we don't have any spread picks, since it's a bit of a different slate, is each one of us would kind of give you guys our core builds, our best, for whatever reason, these are the guys that we want to play in our player pool, and then we'll do a draft after that with just the 2 guys. And so I think what will happen is we'll come up with some interesting builds. What do you guys think of that strategy?
I'm good with that. I like it.
We can probably get that done.
I'm just trying to think about how to be different, but also not be married to our favorite plays, because I was thinking about this, if I wanted to play my favorite 3 guys, I feel like I just automatically fall into a trap of playing it the same way every time. And I'm this way I think we'll be able to get on some interesting builds. I'll get over to that screen now, but in the meantime, do you guys feel like there's anything that's going underreported? I honestly think that injury news is such a big deal on these smaller slates, and for some reason, I just feel like that goes underreported, even though we have Twitter and we have so much news and information out there. I just feel like there's still mistakes.
I actually this is a very healthy wild card weekend, considering the only name I think that I would be even consider playing that's going to be out is Flowers. I can't think of anyone else big that's not playing.
Yeah, maybe it's a bit of a bias for me, Donnie, because I think it also happened to Gov as well this week. But I had a golfer withdraw an hour before the contest, and I should have seen it, and I didn't. So whenever that happens, it just stings. And then all the times I played basketball, or all the times it's happened to me in the past, the moment it happens to you, you just feel so bad. It's so deflating. So let that not happen to you this weekend. There's only 6 games, so there's lots to keep track of, but be very mindful.
Yeah, there's only one guy who I want to play that has a Q tag going in. I mean, Otten's got a Q tag as well, and he's going to play, or at least expected to. But J.K. Dobbins is the only one who's we don't know yet.
That is
it. On the 2-game slate, Logan, just to let you know.
I am. Okay, thank you. But how much do you think Flowers will be owned? He'll be owned by somebody, right? Somebody will leave him.
No.
You don't think so?
Because he's been out he's been considered very unlikely to play since the start of the week.
I guess that's possible. So, Gov, I'll ask you it this way then. How many casuals do you think will come back for the playoffs, or do you think we'll still be dealing with it?
The first couple weeks, you'll have people betting, you'll have people who will get into contests. Like, they're not putting out some like giant $5 millie like they did on Thanksgiving or at the start of the year. I'll say that much.
Yeah, that's probably true. I think I'm on the right one now. Yeah, I am. Well, I just feel like week 16, 17, you're dealing with a lot of hardcores. We might actually see a reintroduction of more casuals now. So I do think like this is the time to get in.
There definitely will be like an influx of that. I don't know if it'll, like I said, I don't think it'll be as big as the other ones, but it'll be fine. There will be a softer, like probably be. It just depends on what are they going to do. Like with you, like there's a 2-game slate on Saturday. There's a 3-game slate on Sunday. Like all the rest of these last couple of like. 2-game slate is just like these Saturday and Wednesday slates we've had the last few. The 3-game slates, just like every other holiday slate, like Thanksgiving, or you have this smaller 6-game all weekend slate.
This is the first year that I think they have really done this, right? I don't believe last year they had the Monday night game involved in the main slate. This year they do. Obviously, they have the showdown.
I keep forgetting that they have a Monday night wild card.
No, they started that last year, I think.
Yeah, they did, but last year it was just a showdown.
Oh, we're going to get a wild card Manning cast, aren't we? Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
We also got the Mannings doing a kickoff like commercial special like Gronkowski did during the Super Bowl. FanDuel's already promoting it. I guess Peyton Manning and Eli are going to kick field goals against each other in some kind of competition. So, I mean,
it sounds like they're going to hurt themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, but look, any free contest that has a bit of a gimmick that you can make money on, I'm somewhat interested. I did apply some strategy to it since we're talking about it. I did take Eli just because I think he's younger, and I think it matters slightly more because Peyton's already the better Manning. He's already older. He doesn't need it. But this does seem like something Eli might actually try it.
I think they're both going to try. Like they actually care about the competition against each other.
Maybe I've always been a curmudgeon when it comes to fun stuff. I'm a guy that doesn't really do things for fun. So maybe I'm just weirdly competitive that way. Speaking of competitive, do you guys care where we start? Who starts?
I mean, I just know I got my guys loaded up. I've already built a lineup with doing this, so I would be interested to see how you guys would come up with it.
Okay, let's start with you, Danny. What do you got?
My first 3 guys I locked in this week for just one lineup was Stafford, Puka, Cup.
Ooh, the Rams onslaught.
Full Rams onslaught.
Okay, I'll plug this in and. So here's the idea: is Donnie again will pick his favorite 3 players. It may be not even your favorite 3 players. Maybe you just want to create torture. Like I'm thinking about creating torture in my lineup. But these are the 3 guys you want. Gov, what would you do with this lineup, Gov, if you had to?
So who do we have? Stafford,
Puka, Cup.
Stafford with the 2 wide receivers.
I'm going full Rams. We've done it before. We've seen it work. Wrong receiver, Logan.
Wrong receiver. Gotcha. I caught that one at least. You know what it is? It's Cooper Kupp's price. Like you just expect him to be in that Nakua range, and he really isn't.
Like thinking a 6-game slate, I probably still want to stack a game. So like,
yeah,
I'm trying to think who on Minnesota I want on the other side.
Okay, I'll give you the first pick. You can take it, but I do agree we do need to have a Minnesota bring back.
And I love that it's the Monday game as well. That's another reason why I really like this. People are not going to wait to put a full Monday onslaught. Yeah.
People don't believe me, Donnie, but I've been saying that for years. Like they're impatient, right? It's a human. I think it's a human.
Oh, just put in Hawkinson.
That is just to throw it out there. That's exactly what I did with this lineup personally. That was my first thing.
Yeah.
He's been underperforming based on what they thought he was going to do.
Look at his targets though, since he's been back.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
His targets cheaper than Andrews, Freiermuth, and Ertz on this playoff slate. It's
That's what I mean is like if he would have came back 5 weeks later, then people would still be excited to play him. I think because we saw him and he was like working through his injuries on the field, like I don't feel like he was ever fully healthy this year.
Well, he played 10 games and still had almost 500 yards.
Right. Like I think he had a decent year, but I do think he was playing through injuries, and like we took the shot in best ball, but I'm just saying I think the hate on TJ has went a bit far. People were talking about Addison being the number 2 guy. I still think like target for target, Hawkinson is the number 2 behind Jefferson. Okay, so I got to pick now.
It's a pretty expensive core.
Well, let me just go with my best value on the board. I'm gonna go with a running back from Denver.
Oh.
Yeah, we're gonna go there.
Oh.
Give me McLaughlin. He got 19 carries and a meaningful game. He got 19 carries and a meaningful game. Oh, 16, sorry. But he also got some work in the receiving, so maybe that's why I got the number.
A lot.
It's not a horrible play, but it is basically the Algier play that I did last week. Like it didn't hurt you, but it didn't ceiling because everyone else goes off. So like
we could get way off the board, but this is a starter that I feel like is underpriced, and there's not too many starters that are underpriced on this slate. I feel like.
Yeah, I could see that. Let's see. Well, my pick, right?
Yeah. You knew I was going to go stars and scrubs. Come on.
Well, then let's keep doing it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Saquon Barkley.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's jam in some
I'm very
good
interested.
running back play.
Yeah, I'm very interested in how you're going to be able to finish this out affordably.
I got you.
Well, remember, we're going to plug in probably a 3K or lower defense.
Give me Wicks.
So if you plug in a 3K or lower defense, you still have a 5K wide receiver. My favorite cheap defense is probably Houston versus the Chargers, but I could also see going the exact other way and playing the Chargers against Houston.
That is my favorite game stack, though. If you want to get Barkley, it's just to go with Wicks because with Watson being out, Wicks is underpriced.
I agree.
And
I think Wicks and Dobbs are probably underpriced.
Right. I think I'll be playing more Barkley because I like the Barkley with a wide receiver from Green Bay bring back a lot better than I like Derrick Henry and a Steelers bring back as a wide receiver.
I agree with that. But I just don't know about Love. Like Jordan Love, he's expected to play, right? I believe he's going to play, but when you say on Monday you didn't have feeling in your arm,
no, I'll be honest with you guys. I don't know if he'll have feeling in his arm. I know the NFL drugs are really strong, and he's going to play because it's the playoffs, and who knows what it's going to do for him long term. But just like DFS, we don't have to worry about long term, unfortunately, for him. You have an idea what you want to do, Go? You can leave me a defense or take the flex if you want.
Yeah, put in the Chargers defense, and then you do what you want with the flex.
I do like the Chargers this week of all the defenses.
I will say I kind of want to get something from that Washington-Tampa game, but it's up to you. You got 5K.
Yeah.
Just don't. I will say, just don't play White. He literally did not touch the field at all last week. Like
there is a bring back. If you want a Buffalo guy, you could play like Coleman or Cooper.
Yeah, I know what I want to do. And it's playing Amari Cooper.
Love the talent of him.
Playoff Coop.
I feel like this lineup is already saying like we're playing underappreciated talent this season. Like for some reason they didn't perform. Like Cooper Kupp. You would have thought coming into the playoffs he was $1,000 more. T.J. Hawkinson, if he was healthy, he would have been probably a $6,000 tight end. Like outside of Kelsey, I feel like he could be the smash tight end for the playoffs. And then Amari Cooper was drafted to be the number one and just disappeared in that offense. Like maybe that's injury as well, I don't know, but he has had splash games. So I like this lineup. Donnie, how different is this lineup from your core?
So
You can bring your core up if you want. We can flash it on the screen just to show people the difference.
I'm sending it over now. I was actually looking at stuff because I was going to look at Cooper's. Cooper was the guy I played with as well, but this is where I'm at.
Okay. So
I went Henry over Barkley. I get that.
I like
you got me onto McLaughlin though. You made me make that change.
There's a lot of pressure now. There's a lot
because before it was Dobbins and Bucky. Yeah, before it was Dobbins and Bucky. So I'm that's my 2v2 right now, and I'll decide later which one's going to be final. But
the reason I like McLaughlin is he's also the pass catcher. Like, I don't want to trust the Denver guy, but he's just too cheap.
I agree with you. If you're going to be getting 15 plus touches and you're under 5K,
like
all it takes is one.
Warren's not even the starter, and he's like 5,300. So that's the problem.
But we'll see if Likely just gives me a snowflake or if he gives me the random touchdown. Like
I'm not gonna lie, I like your lineup, but I like ours better. I think ours is safer. Yours has higher upside. I think ours is safer.
I would agree with that. I mean, they're both. I think I just like the core. So if you give me that core with the Hawk, Puka, Cup, Stafford, I'm gonna like any of the lineups. But
yeah.
We'll see how it goes. I do like this lineup, though. I am confident going into it.
Gov, is there anything that scares you about that lineup? Because, like I said, we had a lot of guys who we thought different things going into the season who just didn't live up. So is it those guys that scare you? Was there something in the lineup that really just irked you?
No, honestly, like that was a solid core. And I liked a lot of the plays we put around it. Like I like the Wicks call. Like with Watson out, Wicks sees more targets, Dobbs sees more targets. I like that they finally priced Jaden Reed down. He's not that much different or better than any of the other Green Bay receivers.
And I didn't know what
things even a little more difficult at that, but really wasn't that bad. 6-gamer, you got to make sure to hit classic by game style. Otherwise, you'll get best ball tournaments.
Yeah, it's true.
Go back to the 6. Go back and click 6-gamer again. No. It was right there. It was right there.
Was it? I didn't see it.
6-gamer.
Oh, that's it.
Boom. Okay, there we go.
Okay, now I'm just looking for the 3 and 3 mat. There it is. Got it. All right.
Okay.
You want me to go first?
Well, do you want your core or my core? You want to do my core now?
Doesn't matter to me.
Okay. Look at my stuff. I think my core is going to be Bo Nix, Cortland Sutton, Bucky Irving.
I like that. I like that one.
Do you, Donnie? Because I haven't built anything with Bo Nix.
I haven't built anything with Bo yet, but he's been one of the guys where it's like, if I find a way to get to him, I think it's very sneaky. I will say I am not playing Lamar or Josh. I will not pay that for them this week.
I'm shocked. Who else am I missing here? I did not expect Bo Nix.
Cortland Sutton.
Sutton, okay. Wow. I don't know why, but I didn't even consider it this week. This will be fun for me.
I think a lot of people are going to overlook it because it's a rookie quarterback in Buffalo, in the cold with some snow on the ground. Like, people are going to go against. And what I see is a Sean Payton offense that's been running pretty good all year.
Mm-hmm.
A subpar talented team. So, like, I don't think Denver wins this game, but I think they keep up.
Mm-hmm.
they push Buffalo to have to like score and win. So like, could Buffalo win 34-27? Yeah. But I think they win 34-27, not 31-10, which is what I think a lot of people are betting on.
Interesting.
It's still a 47 total. It's like the third highest total of our 6 games. I think it's not a bad way to go, like the way Denver's been playing.
Are you ready for my pick?
Yeah,
I will say this. I'm not sure if I want to like double stack Bo Nix or like give me the double bring back. Like give me Bo Nix, Sutton, and then a couple of Buffalo guys.
I see
how I'm kind of building it right
now. I will say though, before Donnie picks, I do not like Cook because I feel like Cook does not ever get the volume. So you have to get there with Cook either on touchdowns or just like crazy efficiency. I don't like Cook this week. I think he's severely overpriced. So
he had 18 touchdowns this year, which really helped him.
That's what I'm saying. The efficiency is great, but you have to count for those touchdowns. For me, because I think Barkley or Henry is just
they're significantly higher priced. That like you got to compare him to Bucky.
I guess that's fair, but I would still rather have Irving like 9 out of 10 times. I think.
All right, my guy that I want to throw in here is Romeo. Give me Dobbs.
Okay, I thought you were going to do it on the Anglo Cooks. I thought, well,
no, I'm not. I don't like his price either. It's just an uncomfortable price at the running back spot. I don't think it puts you anywhere great. I'd rather play Dobbins personally.
I'll be honest. I didn't even know Dobbs' price because if I'm going for a cheap Green Bay, it's always going to be Kraft for me as a double tight end, or it's going to be Wicks. So
I like the 11 targets from last week.
Well, I actually like it because I just assumed he'd be closer to 6K. So I think the ownership on Dobbs is going to be very low, but maybe I'm wrong. All right, so I could do almost anything here at this point. Yeah, let me get my favorite player I think is going under the radar. I think I'll give you some money too, Donnie. I think you'll like this one. I'm going to go Dallas Goedert. Coming off injury.
Goddard? We did talk about him on the review, but he was clearly getting ramped up last week. Yeah. They wanted him to be ready for this game.
And we talked about it. We literally said we thought they were ramping him up. Kind of opposite of what they did with TJ Hockenson with the Vikings. Slightly different situation, but where they were like, no, we're gonna ramp up Hockenson, midseason. We don't need the production right away, but he'll be ready. Goddard's kind of has to be plug and play now, but I think he'll be fine. His price, to me, is just still too low.
All right. Another guy I really love this week. It might be a little expensive. Is Ladd. Ladd McConkey's been so good, a target monster.
Well, I don't mind Ladd.
A little expensive when you compare him to the other guys. Like he really has to have a good week. But I'm comfortable saying he'll have it. At least be involved
of all
in the game
rookie
plan.
Guys, like I think he could have a solid week here in the playoffs. Good playoffs.
This is a young.
Because Herbert's going to come in hungry, and Harbaugh's going to have him ready.
Exactly. I trust Harbaugh. I trust Herbert, and that's why I'm playing Ladd.
Could you argue that Ladd had a better season than Neighbors? Because I would argue.
Yes. I mean, no matter how you
I really would. Like that's what I expect Ladd to come in like a true professional.
I don't think Ladd had a better season than Neighbors, but I think like Ladd had a pretty good season. Neighbors and BTJ had the best rookie wide receiver seasons.
Yeah.
But Ladd was way better than Marvin Harrison Jr. Ladd was better than
Ladd was just super consistent all the time.
Yeah. I'm starting to wonder if like the development of rookie quarterbacks in college is just getting so much better with the transfer portal and just like even Bill Belichick is going.
Like if kids are going to stay 3 or 4 years because they're going to get paid, they might be better quarterbacks when they get in the NFL.
Well, Carson Beck just went to Miami and got $4 million. I wouldn't blame him for doing that. He was going to be a day 3 pick probably. At most, he would have been a third. Like he gets $4 million to play 1 year at Miami and go try the NFL the next year. That's going to be good for him.
Like people were like, I was watching a podcast this week and they were saying like, oh, Daniel's first playoff performance. I'm like, oh, Daniel's first, what is it? And I'm like, oh yeah, he's a rookie. Like it literally slipped my mind that he was a rookie. Like at some point you just perform enough weeks in a row in DFS. I'm like, you're a plug and play. So Daniels just became a plug and play, and I almost forgot he was a rookie, to be completely honest.
I mean, how many playoffs do you have 2 rookie quarterbacks in there?
I mean, to me, it really doesn't matter, and I think that's the biggest compliment I can give it. Like, honestly, I haven't considered it at all this week.
All right, it's your pick, though, Logan. Where do you want to go with this? You don't have a bunch of salary, but
no, you probably need to go cheap at defense, and just so you can get a halfway decent running back.
I'm gonna go
unless you play Jaleel again.
No, I'm gonna go even cheaper than that. I'm gonna go my favorite wide receiver play of the slate. I'm gonna go John Mechie.
Is he?
Ooh.
Is he expected to play?
He's expected to play.
But is he expected to be on the field play?
He's the number 2.
I'd have to look at snap counts to see that, but
he's been injured, but he is the number 2.
I was about to say, are they not going to try to use Deontay?
I don't think so.
I really don't know the snap counts for the Texans. I have not considered much Houston at all, just because I don't like how they've looked. They've been very sloppy.
Yeah,
I don't either, but I think like Mechie has the speed profile to like catch one pass and break it, and that's
Mechie's been getting enough snaps, but Deontay played 37% of snaps last week, and that was his first week with the team. That might shoot up.
Yeah. To that point, though, if you wanted to play, I still think you're playing like a volume play.
Xavier Hutchinson's been the clear number 1. Well, number 2 because Nico didn't play really. Nico didn't play that much, but yeah, no, it's been Xavier Hutchinson's been the clear number 2.
But to me, I'm looking for that like Jamison Williams one catch. You know, you go to the house. To me, that's Mechie. Like if you're playing Johnson, I guess you could do it, but you're playing a volume play at that point. You know.
Okay.
That gives me.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I just stay away from Houston wide receivers myself. But...
What's the cheapest defense? Can you just plug in the
cheapest one I have is like the Houston Texans at 27.
Yeah, just plug it in just so I can see what I can get. I don't want to do the math.
It is the Steelers at 22.
Yeah, just put it in. It's not my pick. I just want to see it. So that gives me 7.9. So I just wanted to know if Henry was in play. Okay,
no, you basically can't do Henry in that, but you could still play a decent.
Kyren, put in Kyren.
Kyren, I would say if you want to get to Henry, I can get off of Mechie.
I love the Rams. We don't have any Rams in here. It just makes too much sense. So now you can pick whatever defense you want.
Now you can get up to 2,700, which is the Houston defense that I'm playing as my cheap.
Yeah. So now that
you could play anything like there. You could play the Packers against Philly. That's sneaky.
Okay, the last game is what?
Then I have my
Philly, right?
I have my lineup up, which has my core.
Okay, let me switch over there real fast. Probably way different than what we built. I can already tell. Let's see. Well, a lot of plays that we were on just not in the same lineup at all. Because obviously we played TJ and Donnie's lineup.
All right. Give me just a second. I'm going to be right back. I got to help my sister with something.
Are you good, man?
Yeah, I wanted to go with the full Giga stack. Like, I think that game is going to be crazier than people think. But I still get my piece of Washington Tampa. I still get a nice little play from the Monday night game with Puka, late game hammer.
You know why I thought of this idea though, Gov? It's like we've been doing this for weeks in our private Discord channels anyways with our friends. You know, we'll put in a core, we'll be like, hey, could you help me? Could you decide this 2v2 for me? And so now people can see what you did with the lineup. They see what we did, and then we can almost compare and contrast and have something to look forward to when it comes to reviews. Because now we're almost competing against each other almost in a way, almost like a cage match against yourself, if that makes sense.
Did you want to do one more with your core?
Yeah, I can do that.
Set it up. We'll get your core of 3 guys, and then me and Donnie will build a lineup around it.
Yeah, and by the way, I will fix the flex. You guys should do that. Like it is 6 games; they are spread out. You definitely.
But if you can put your Minnesota or Rams guys in the flex, definitely do it.
Yeah.
I couldn't with my Giga stack because I went double tight end. But otherwise, I would have Puka in my flex in my.
And I will say it's not the worst case. It's not the worst case thing, but I promise you,
If it's possible, it's always better to. But like, it's not the worst.
Well, because I have had.
If you never swap, it doesn't matter anyway.
It's true because some people don't. Like I knew this one guy in DFS. He was just like, no matter what happens, I don't like.
I built my lineup to be good. Swapping just makes it worse.
Yep. And so even
if you don't know who or what to swap to, like there is an art of what you're swapping for. Like why are you swapping? Are you swapping to block someone because you're already near the top of a tournament? Are you swapping to try to shoot up to cash? So you need like guys that no one else has that like low-owned dudes that still can go off. Just fill them with a bunch of those. Get off any of your chalkier plays and just play a lower-owned dude and hope they all outscore. And you make
that was his thing. His thing was always there's variance in DFS. So if I try to control the variance, I'm going to make more mistakes by trying to control the weather patterns. Basically, was his point, and I agree with his point a lot. I can give you my quota if you want it.
Yeah, if you want to start giving us your core while you pull up a lineup somewhere.
Okay, it is. Let's see what I got here. It's Dallas Goddard. It's McLaughlin. Oh, that's what it is. It's McLaughlin, and then I think it's sneaky, but I'm going to go with Daniels as my quarterback.
If you've got DK up, it's not on screen right now.
Oh, fair play.
Boom.
Sorry for the cosmetics. I did think it was on the screen. Let's see, and then I got Daniels.
Jaden Daniels. Okay.
I think he is the sneakiest best play. Like for the last 3 weeks, he's gotten 30. He's gotten like 30 or more points. Like I don't know. And then obviously week 18, he didn't play much. Like you almost throw that out.
You can throw that out against Dallas basically. But yeah, before that, like boom, boom, boom. He's been a very high ceiling quarterback. Like I wasn't really on him when I first look at stuff, but like the more I dig in, the more I seem to like Jaden Daniels.
And I just think there's a lot of ways you can do it. You can do it with Terry McLaurin, who's underpriced if you think he's still the number one superstar guy, or you can be like Terry McLaurin hasn't done well with the target share, so you're just going to go with Zacchaeus or like a cheaper tight end with Zach Ertz. I think it's like one of the more fun ways to build. Because you can still get like a lot of Tampa guys. You could go with Irving. You could go Mike Evans.
Yeah, I can see that. All right. Yeah, that gives you a little bit of flexibility. 56. So you didn't spend a crap ton of salary. As a matter of fact, you gave us a mega salary saver in McLaughlin.
And I'm not surprised I did it differently than you guys, but you guys all had your stack. So I purposely wanted just like 3 guys I really believe in it. And then,
to be fair, Jaden Daniels is a rushing quarterback. You could play him naked.
Yeah.
Just like you could play Lamar naked.
Well, that's truly what I wanted. I wanted to give you as much optionality to like take my 3 favorite players and do whatever you want with it. So I do think we'll have very unique builds. Like I do think this will be a fun split.
Yep. All right. Not sure how long Donnie's going to be, but I'm looking right now.
Yeah, let me give you the first pick at least.
Well, like, let's just talk blue. Like, I like Barkley and Donnie likes Henry, but like, what do we really like at the top end of running back? Because I'll say this, like, I think the only good running back plays are 6,700 and up, unless you're punting with a McLaughlin.
Which you wouldn't do anyways. Like, you didn't really like that when I suggested, right?
No. And I'm usually a cheap running back kind of guy.
Yeah.
But
well,
this is an interesting start.
What do you think of Logan's core?
Not something I would start with. I will not be playing any Daniels either. Like
I
that's
kind
just one of
of
the
like
quarterbacks.
Jaden Daniels, to be honest. Like it's
I
a
won't
rookie
be playing.
quarterback. Can you trust it? But like he's been good all year. He's put up good fantasy games, and Tampa is a carnival team almost.
Yeah, I'd rather play the cheaper guys than him. Like he's just in a price range I'm not comfortable with. I'd rather play Baker for 700 less.
If you're paying up that much, you're going to play Josh Allen or Lamar probably.
I'll say this.
Yeah.
I think there's only one guy that can outscore him, and that's Lamar Jackson. So why don't I just get the younger Lamar Jackson? I'll take Daniels.
Yeah. Okay. So, Donnie, I will let you have the first pick. We'll fill this out.
Well, we don't have much exposure of them. I think it's silly to not play any of them. Throw in Saquon.
Okay.
We do have some of them, don't we?
I'll say
No.
I jammed him in the lineup.
Well,
We don't have any Henry, if that's what you meant.
no, I'd still rather Saquon at that price.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go with. Plug in Terry McLaurin. I kind of want to stack Jaden Daniels. If we're gonna do it.
Makes sense.
That's what I did.
Donnie?
Hold on, let me check the prices of something. Okay. I like his price. I think he's a good number 2. Throw in McMillan from Tampa.
I was just thinking McMillan. Good guy. Mental link.
Kate Otten is back, by the way, if we don't talk anymore about that.
I don't want to play Kate Otten.
Ooh, Flowers is out. Yes.
Yeah.
Right, that's what.
So Nelson Aguilar legacy game is what you're saying, Gov?
All Henry and Lamar, unless he throws it to the bait man.
That's why I'm playing Likely so much. Personally, I'm playing a lot of Likely because of the injury.
Okay, I want you to do something.
Yep.
To kind of hamstring Donnie a little bit.
Good.
I want you to plug into our flex.
Bastard.
Cooper Kupp.
Cooper, thank you. I feel like you built my core, which I won't be able to show because I accidentally put it into the first lineup we built. So, but this is very similar to what I had.
Okay.
No, that means if you can't remember it, you can just review the VOD. Review the live tape. It'll have been there for a second. So, you now can pick a cheap defense and still have 4K-ish.
Yeah, I have 4,900 technically if I pick minimum defense.
Yep.
Yeah, so you could play the Cooper.
People like to see it on the screen, so I'll just show it. And then we can switch it out later. But
So I've left you with the ability to play a cheap receiver.
You've left me with that's all you've left me with the ability to do.
Because I wanted Cooper Kupp in the flex. Why isn't he in the flex?
I thought he was.
No, he isn't.
Son of a bitch. You have to click flex and pick him from there. You can't type his name.
Yeah, you have to find him.
He's 6,400. He should be right there. Oh.
I think that's the first time I've done that all year. I always type.
Yeah, I know you always type. That's crazy.
I'm gonna go with a sneaky guy.
QJ?
What?
QJ?
No, cheaper than that. I'm gonna throw in Vele.
Oh,
Vele.
I like the Vele.
You could have double stacked it. I thought that's where you were going.
Nope. I'm gonna go Vele.
I would have gone a Buffalo bring back, either a Coleman or something like that.
I thought about it, but I'd rather not play the Steelers defense against
Mac
Baltimore.
Hollins is a crazy.
Yeah, I've said that Vele was, and this was a bit tongue in cheek, but I said Vele was basically the Denver tight end of choice when it came to the red zone. He is their red zone threat. I feel like I could see him getting a touchdown tomorrow.
Him or Mims are almost guaranteed for a touchdown in my mind.
Oh no, they play Sunday. So
That gives you a defense to go with. You got 3K on defense.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That gives you 3K left for the defense. We don't have a Minnesota guy. Just play the Rams defense. Monday Night Hammer.
Makes sense.
I think it was Hilo from 1 Week Season loved the Rams as his sneaky good defense, just because they get so much pressure on quarterbacks usually with Jared Verse.
That is solid.
That's not horrible.
I thought we built really good lineups, but I wouldn't like if you had told me like these are the core guys we're gonna end up on. I think these are very unique lineups.
I like going full star and scrub though, because the stars are going to show it in the playoffs, or at least it's going to be the game plan. And if they don't, you're just going to lose.
I'd say the team we didn't.
Actually, that works out more because, like, you're right. The stars are going to show out, but then the good defenses are going to be able to shut down teams, and those teams are only going to be able to score with their secondary guys who are going to be left out of the game.
Mm-hmm. Now, you guys are okay. If for some reason John Mechie doesn't play, I can make that swap.
Yeah, you go to whatever Houston wide receiver you want. Yeah.
Well, even if you don't want a Houston guy. And,
I guess go to whatever wide receiver you have money for.
I would be curious, though, if people, like, there'll be more time to watch this show than some weeks. So if people want to leave us their favorite core in the comment section, I would be curious to see how you would start a lineup, because I thought this went very well. I was actually surprised how well the teams actually looked at the end of them. I don't think any of these teams are bad, and I do think we'll make profit this week. That'd be my
what's your least favorite?
Well.
Out of all these teams, which one's your least favorite?
My least favorite is probably this one.
I'm in agreement. This is my least favorite right now. Go.
But I could see it working. I just don't like the two Denver guys. Like, I don't even really like McLaughlin. He's just cheap enough as a starter.
Okay, I'll say this. Don't take this offense to this. I think it's the Stafford double that I like the least.
But I take offense to that.
Yeah, but
I'm not even sure why. Because I think the rest of the lineup around it was fine. But I'm not sure I want that late game hammer stack. It probably is.
It's the most risky. It's definitely the most risky stack because you're relying on the Rams to just be good against a 14-3 team.
I would 100% hate it, Donnie, if it wasn't for the fact that you were like, I'm going to play a statue old quarterback. He's not a running quarterback when there is so many running quarterbacks on the slate and so many points to be had, but you double stacked it. So, like, you literally play the exact outcome that you need Stafford to beat Daniels and Lamar. Like, the only way he beats Lamar or Daniels in his optimal in this slate is if he just has like a 500-yard game, which you definitely covered by his two, favorite targets.
I mean, it is. I will say it's a very risky thing because all it takes is Stafford to just be off by a couple yards every so often, and it's dead. But
we know a lot of smart people go. Is there anyone that's going to play Cooper and Kupp without Stafford? Would you do Cooper, Kupp, and Sam?
You mean Puka, Kupp, and I'm not sure I do Puka and Kupp on a bring back. And I do think a lot of one-offs of Puka, Kupp, or Kyron will be played. Like, that is a solid.
Yeah, the one-off for sure. But that's what I'm saying. I think, like, price considered, Cooper and Puka might be the best, like, value and talent combination at wide receiver you can get.
In the first round, maybe. Like, the only thing that comes close in my mind would probably be Mike Evans, McMillan, because McMillan's been pretty solid all year, and Mike Evans is a goated receiver.
He really
is. In the first round, like, Nico and his scrubs, McLaurin and his scrubs, the scrubs on Baltimore, the scrubs on Pittsburgh.
I will say,
Puka and Kupp are two of the 5 best receivers on the fucking slate.
And they're not priced like that, right? Well, I mean, I guess technically. Puka is the fifth
Like
highest priced
Evans,
receiver.
Jefferson, Collins, AJ Brown. Like I think you could probably drop Nico or AJ and just put Puka and Cup, and then Jefferson, Evans.
Yeah.
There's no reason why Cooper.
Like Jefferson, Evans, Puka, Cup, and one of Nico or AJ is your top 5. No one else comes close.
There's no way that Pickens and Cooper Cup should be virtually the same price. I just don't. I don't understand that. Pickens at 6,300 and Cooper Cup 64. That is crazy to me.
Yeah, I agree. Like looking at price range, it's like now Cup hasn't had those games with Puka recently.
Recently,
I'll say
but
that.
we've seen it.
We've seen like him actually put up dud fantasy games in this offense with Puka humming. But we also know that if all of a sudden they shut down Puka and Cup gets 10 plus targets, he'll crush.
Yeah. And the way we play it, we're playing for the touchdown upside anyway. So like people are like, well, Cooper's not the explosive guy he was. Well, no, we don't need it. We need touchdowns because we got the pairing anyways. So we just need points in that game in general.
Yep.
So I like what we did here. If you guys want to mention anything else, otherwise we'll keep this high and tight and we'll get out of here. Give the people more time to watch the show.
Yep. Well, we gotta get to the college football game anyway. I want to see the end of this, so I'm ready to go.
Fair enough. With that being said, good night, guys. Like I said, take the extra time to watch the show.
Oh, I do have one thing actually. Shout out to Deshaun Watson for tearing his Achilles again. Love to hear it. It was great news.
I mean,
Something great to wake up to this morning.
I was not disappointed either, Donnie, but I was going to leave on a positive note. I was going to say, like and subscribe, give us some attention, please, be considerate. And then you came in with the most negative.
That is positive. You know that's positive.
It's positive for me and you, but we're curmudgeons. So, but yeah.
Oh, wow, Easter egg, I guess. What the hell?
Yeah. I mean, but.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, I just noticed something on screen. Oh, I'll tell you when it goes off. People will notice.
Oh, great.
If you've been watching the show, you'll notice.
Good night, guys. Good night.